Hello everyone, I just want to talk to you a bit about Maruszczyk basses. As a builder that I stumbled across about a year or so ago when I was on the hunt for a new bass, specifically something to replace, or not to replace, but to fill in for this one, which is my beloved 71 Precision, which is a bass I've had for a very long time and I love it dearly. Just everything about it is just right, but first of all, it's a bit precious. I'm a bit precious about it now, so I don't like taking it out too much. And it's also precision weight, which is, it's not a heavy bass, it's a medium weight for precision, but my back starts to complain a bit when I play long sets with it. So I began to look for something along these lines, and I also like the idea of maybe just having a jazz pickup in there sometimes, just for the odd song when it's needed. So I began the search, and to be honest, there's not a great deal out there. Something by the Fender custom shop is just out of the question, just too expensive and no guarantee of what you're going to get really. Lackland started doing a limited edition Precision with a nice jazz pickup in the Skyline series, but it was close to £1,000, which I think is too much for something from the Far East. And there was never a guarantee of what I was going to actually end up with as far as weight goes. It was basically whatever came off the boat. And obviously there's the likes of Overwater, Sugar, all that lot out there, but again, it's just too much money really. I couldn't really afford it. So I was about to give up on the search when I came across Maruszczyk, and for life as I can't remember how. I think I noticed it on, somebody might have posted something on Bass Chat or something, but they've got a bass called a Jake, which is their equivalent of a Precision, and when I looked, there were just loads of options available, and it seemed to be a really reasonable price. And there were a few sort of people playing them already, not so many in the UK, but quite a few on sort of the German forums and things. So thanks to Google Translate, I did a bit of research, and they seemed like a pretty good way to go. So I emailed Adrian in sort of March, I think, last year, and just asked him what was available, and he said pretty much anything, just name it, we can do it. So I did, and this is what I ended up with. This is number one. This is the first Jake that I got, and I absolutely love this bass. As soon as I got it out of the case when it arrived, it just felt fantastic. As you can see, it looks pretty similar to my 71. It's just a burst with a taut guard, and obviously the blocks, which I've always liked, but with a few sort of magic bits. First of all, it's really light. I think it's about 7.2 pounds, which is just astonishing really. You would expect it to have neck dive, but it's just got no neck dive at all. It just doesn't want to go. It's just hangs on the strap beautifully. Obvious differences, it's got a wonderful flame top, very subtle compared to some of them you can get. I prefer it that way. I didn't want it too sort of coffee table. I just like a sort of a subtle warm kind of glow to it. It's got a really nice vintage style guard, and it's got household pickups, which are their sort of a German brand of custom pickups, which I believe are pretty expensive, reassuringly expensive. So it's got a standard Precision, and it's got a split coil jazz in the bridge position, so you don't get any hum when you back off one pickup or the other. It's passive, and it's got blocks, as you can see, and it's got sort of vintage yellowed nicotine binding on there, and it's got American Hipshot ultralight tuners, which I specified because I thought maybe normal tuners might cause it to be a bit neck heavy given the weight. I'm not sure they would have done actually. I think it would have still bounced okay, but the tuners are fantastic. They're just really smooth. You can see that there's no string tree on there. Main reason being the headstock is swept back, so it doesn't actually need one because it keeps the tension on the strings behind the nut perfectly well. It's a nice clean look. It's got a 0 fret, and nice little touch on this is the nut is black rather than the sort of the cream that you would normally get, and I think that's kind of good because it's the first fret, the 0 fret becomes the nut almost visually. It's not as cluttered as it would be if the nut had been white. The bridge is a Hipshot B bridge, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting the standard Maruszczyk bridge, but for whatever reason it came with this, and I'm really glad it did, because it's a nice bridge. It's very smooth, so for the likes of palm muting, it's just there. It's perfect for palm muting. Feels really good quality. The neck joint doesn't have a plate like you normally get on Fenders. It's just a really smooth, clean design. Everything about this bass is just wonderful. It does the if I just go with the precision pickup, it does the precision thing perfectly. And it does the sort of more old school. Now if you bring the bridge pickup in, a bit more the jazzy sort of honk there, and if you back off the precision pickup, nice bit of jazz honk there. So it's just a wonderful bass. The neck profile is the same as my 71. Basically, I measured my 71 and sent the measurements across to Adrian, and he's copied it pretty much perfectly. It feels the same, which suits me. It's the width is standard Maruszczyk, but it's a bit thicker front to back. There's a bit of meat on there, which I really like. And I basically scored with this. It's just a wonderful instrument, and I liked it so much that I ordered another one. Basically because combination of gas, and for practical reasons. I wanted another bass, the idea being one with rounds, one with flats, and one of my bands does detune a bit, and it was just, if I was ever in a hurry and didn't have time to retune, it's a pathetic excuse, I know, and this is what I ended up with. Another custom Jake. Obvious differences, the colour. I really like the old sort of aged Lake Placid blue when it gets that greeny tint, and I think this is pretty close. Maruszczyk do a Lake Placid blue, but it's quite a vivid blue, which wasn't really what I was after. I wanted the sort of the nicotine-y tint, and I was about to give up, and I spotted one bass that I had in this colour. I can't remember what they call it. But I spotted it and thought, you know, that's pretty close. And I think it's actually a Fiat car colour, but it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful sort of metallic. It's fantastic. Other stuff, it's got the same bridge. The tuners are Hipshot Ultralight Butterbean tuners, oval tuners, which I didn't know you could get until I asked. The neck, as you can see, is a beautiful flame all over, just stunning, and I'm guessing that's why this one doesn't have a swept back headstock and instead has a string tree, which I don't mind because that just looks like my 71. Again, it's got the 0 fret. This has got white binding on it and a mint pickguard. The pickups are Maruszczyk's own, which are hotter and more aggressive than the Housel's in my Sunburst. The bridge pickup is a dual humbucker, which has got a lot more poke than the jazz pickup in the Sunburst, and it's, again, this bass I just absolutely love. It's the same weight, again, no neck dive at all. It's just perfect. So again, this has got flatwounds on it, but again, it's got the and it does the old school stuff really well. That back pickup, again, I have to emphasise this isn't a sound test because the mic's not really up to it. It's just to give you an idea. I've got other videos on the channel which give you a better idea about the sound. The bridge pickup just really pokes. It's got slightly more muted top end than the jazz pickup in there, but it just punches right through. It's incredible. but again, it's just a stunning instrument, and I just use whichever one. The idea was rounds, flatwounds, but really I just look at one and just think whichever one looks the coolest at the time. I just pick it up and string it with the relevant strings. And for the money, these are just absolutely incredible basses, just unbelievable. And that's part of the reason I go on about them so much, is just I think more people should know about them. Adrian's just so accommodating, and I just think what you get here for what you might spend at the custom shop or for an American Lackland or something like that, it's just, you've really checked these out first. I think I waited about 10 weeks for each of them, and they're both well worth the wait. Recommended.